Thank you, Dan. Can you briefly tell about the industry that you're working in and what you see the prospects coming up for the industry as a whole?
Certainly. So, SeqLL is part of the DNA sequencing and RNA sequencing market. There's a lot of development going on around circulating nucleic acids. So people are using DNA to detect early stages of cancer, to perform all sorts of genetic testing as well. And part of the interesting and really exciting role for the future is in utilizing RNA to improve upon the detection and improve upon how doctors treat patients in this field. And so if you combine RNA information with DNA information through existing means of testing, then you're really opening up the toolbox for doctors and practitioners. So that's a little bit down the road for us. We're not operating in that market just yet, but the technology is being built up, and we're doing the R&D work in the background and the applications development work that can really help us. So there's a lot of different fields here. There's diagnostics, there's research on an academic and an industrial level. Now, as far as new developments go, we're combining circulating nucleic acid detection with new algorithms all the time. You're looking for ways to really judge whether a treatment's been effective or whether a nutritional program has been effective. And so doctors and genetic counselors, nutritionists are all converging and learning how to handle data. So it's very challenging because there's quite a bit of data that you develop just doing one test. So just performing a test leads you to this mountain of data that needs to be sorted through. On the clinical side of things, what they try to do is take that decision making and really standardize it and put processes around it so that it's being performed properly.
So do you see it as a marriage between medical healthcare field and the data analytics and AI, or not yet?
That's a great question. Yes. So that is where the future is going. And especially as I see it in relation to here, I'm more talking about how I see things in India, which I'm not an expert in, I'll say. But it's a fascinating use case because of the way the system works there, where you do have a lot of private doctors that have their own hospitals.
Yeah.
And so if you're able to have them access this technology, use it for their patients, and then also work with the research side to develop the tests that are important in their specific areas of interest, then you really have something. And that's what the next decade is going to be. It's merging all of these tools so that you can get information quickly. You might be able to run a test quick, but it doesn't mean that you'll be able to extract the information quickly and make the right decision. And that's ultimately what it comes down to, is making the right decision for the patient. And over time we'll get there, but it's still early. We're learning about biology every day.
Do you see the costs coming up or going down? Because maybe that is one of the thrust area in the healthcare that we briefly touched upon previously also.
So in terms of cost, I would say if you look at the original Human Genome Project, it costs $20 billion or so to sequence one genome. Now we can do that for a few $1,000s on average. And the bottleneck has moved towards analysis, towards running the informatics. So that's where the big data and AI come in. And that's how you drive the costs down, by being able to manage data, by getting the right protections for consumer or patient data in the cloud, whether it's with blockchain or other methods. You'll then be able to scale and drive the cost down. So early stage, the costs will always be higher than you'd want, but that's part of the product life cycle. And so I think cost will eventually be affordable. I mean, that's what has to happen, right? That's where we need technology to go. If you look at the U.S., for example, we will have major shortfalls and gaps in the budgets for Medicare, Medicaid, and we really need to have technological innovation to drive costs down so that this doesn't become a major problem for the next few decades. And I assume India is the same.
Yes,
But we'll find out.
yeah, and how you see the overall ecosystem in US in this particular field developing? Like you have universities, research and development centers, corporations working in. Are they working in their own silos, or is it maybe a joint effort? How you see it?
Well, there are a lot of joint efforts, and at a very high level, there's a lot of interaction and cooperation among leading hospitals to work with medical testing facilities to develop the right approach and to enroll these large clinical studies, right? So that just takes a long time to move through all of those, to collect the samples, to process everything appropriately, and then extract meaningful data from. So that's really where we are now, I believe. There's a lot of willingness to cooperate. And, that's one of the things that's very encouraging as I talk to people around the world. This willingness to cooperate, it's much greater than I anticipated. People have a real, everyone's been impacted to some degree by disease. And so we all can relate, and driving and doing good for the future generations is really a strong driving factor for most people.
And any thoughts on Indian ecosystem in this field? Like, are they coming up, or are they still lagging behind? How you see it is just the Indian talent that you see as a promise, or the Indian market as well?
Well, the Indian talent is fantastic. It's something that I'm, been personally a fan of for a few years here with our startup. We've been able to attract some good talent and really move forward because of the ecosystem in India that helped them develop. And most of the people I work with have come to the United States, but we've also worked with people in India still, and it's been a great success on that level. And so I think the workforce is ready. What I don't know, what I'd like to see, and it may be happening, I'm not an expert in what is exactly happening, but I think embracing new technologies and making sure that there's access to them is the key. Getting new technologies over there so that the experts can try it in their field. Because every population has a specific need that may differ from other populations. And so it might be the same, might be true, it probably is true within India. So different regions will have different demands for tests and for technology development. So what I don't really know is that they have brought all the technology they need over there to begin this. And so I would hope that that's really a priority going forward. And maybe there are many programs where this already is happening. But it would be exciting, in my mind, if I were to see it. I know, for example, we're here right now at a tech transfer conference in China. Maybe India is doing the same. And that would be, I think you would agree, this is a great start.
Thank you, Dan, for all your expert opinion and observations. Thank you, and we wish you best of luck.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.